The last 150 have been very awe-inspiring, and everything the sisters have done right from the beginning has been led by Providence. The sisters trust in Providence, and when they feel called to do some ministry, mostly for those most vulnerable, the poor, meeting those unmet needs, their work has flourished.
In the beginning, the congregation was founded to care for the poor at the House of Providence or in their homes. So care of the elderly, care of the orphan at the House of Providence, and care of the sick poor in their homes. And shortly after that, they began also visiting the prisons.
Our annals tell us that the sisters, when they came to Kingston, were only here 1 week, and they had visited 40 families in their home. And at the end of 2 weeks, they had 10 orphans living with them.
Around 1965, Vatican II closed, the famous council of the bishops, and it changed the church drastically. We took it seriously, we studied, we were highly educated going into this period, and we made many changes and adaptations to religious life so that it became much more a life of justice work, perhaps rather than charity, a life of service to the poor in whatever way we found them.
Late 60s, our sisters took up the mission call to go to Peru and Guatemala and open missions there to service the people with our spirit. And our spirit of Providence, even though our sisters are gone from Guatemala, still goes on because we have Providence associates there who are living out that spirit.
Sometimes people say, well, what do associates do? It isn't what they do, it's who they are. They are people. They live their lives, whether they're office workers, pastoral care workers, teachers, whoever. Like us, they live their lives. But we come together to deepen that call, which is the Lord calling us within our hearts.
Even at the present, I would say we are still meeting the unmet needs in that we're looking after those with mental illnesses, the elderly, those with complex continuing needs in healthcare, and many community programs, people who are looked after by healthcare professionals in their homes. So the tradition continues.
When they came to Providence Manor to do an evaluation, accreditation, they said, compassion is in your very DNA. It was because sisters before them, that's how they cared for the patients, and that's been handed on.
Here is that deep tradition that started with the sisters and has come all the way forward to this day, and it's something that we're very proud of, and it sprinkles all through everyone's conversations. And so in my mind, that is what makes us unique, is because we have that absolute conviction that what we are doing is serving some of our community's most vulnerable people, and that we are privileged to do so.
We have offices for justice and peace, the heirloom seeds. We have committees for healing violence, ecology, and the environment, just to mention a few.
We have opened our space to anyone who wishes to worship with us. We did this renovation here deliberately because we wanted to be a model of good liturgy for the church. And I think our hospitality and welcoming of people here for Sunday worship, our development of ministries. We train people to do liturgical ministries. On any given Sunday, we probably have about 30 people that have a role to play. And it's brought them life, and it's brought us life, because as our congregation, our sisters are aging and dwindling, we have lots of vitality here. And it's also ministry for us, because we have prisoners who come every Sunday. They are escorted by our people.
The reality in Peru is totally different from that in Canada. The poor there have absolutely nothing. The church, organizations of the sisters, are in places where the poor are begging for a God who will accompany them, who will walk with them.
We will be smaller. We will network more with laity and others, as we do in our justice work, as we do in all kinds of our works now.
I don't know where we'll be in that next 50 years. I think we're still in some ways some mentors to others. We've had 150 really good years of serving with compassion, trusting in providence, and walking in hope. My hope would be that that would continue in some way in the next 50 years, but it's not going to be a lot of us. It's going to be something that more lay people will carry on.
There will be many changes to religious life, and I think generally we're just called to adapt to the changes and to respond to the needs of the time, to respond to the needs of the poor, however they show themselves.
It is true that we don't have the same numbers of sisters, but I do believe that Providence will call others to serve, and how they live and serve is yet to be revealed to us.
My calling is something that I can almost hardly describe. I was in university, 19 years old, having a very good time, and I kept being haunted by some kind of almost a message that you're living for yourself and your real mission in life is to live for others.
Well, there is such a thing as a calling, and how I would define that or describe to you how that call came to me would be very difficult to put into words. It might be comparable to a young woman falling in love. How could she really describe that?
It's been a wonderful, wonderful life.